Hello everybody and welcome to the GodisaGeek podcast, your home for video games and all the other chat we bullshit talk. I fucked my intro up massively. Great start for the new era of the GodisaGeek podcast where me, Daniel Murphy, is hosting it and I fucked it, which, you know, start as you mean to go on. Joining me today is Mr. Greg Hill. Greg, you've not been on for a while, so how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. I am surviving. I'm just kind of getting on with my life, as always. Yeah, I'm doing
a new
well.
job? Have you not?
I do have a new job, I work at Tesco, so
Bossing it.
discounting all that.
I hear Tesco have got like fucking bare revenue since you joined, so.
I know, I think their profits went up like a third or something, so, and I only joined like a week ago, so my effect though.
That's the Hill influence. And also someone who's joining me today who has not been on for quite a while. They've rather tired and not been asleep for 26 hours apparently. Mr. Mike Stubbsy. Mike, are you still with us?
Just about. I think I can probably make it through this podcast and then I'm going to sleep for like 20 hours.
Oh, why are you so tired? Why don't you tell briefly so we can save a lot more of the stories for Patreon, because that still happens. Where have you been? What have you been up to?
Well, I can't go into too much detail about where I've been this week, but I can say that I went over to Raleigh in North Carolina to go visit Bosque and play Lawbreakers, and that's literally all I'm allowed to say.
Can you tell me what Lawbreakers is? Because I've not heard of it at all before.
It's a shooty game from Cliff Blazinski and some other cool people. And then I think that's creeping into stuff that I can't talk about.
Yeah,
but we can talk about it possibly next week, so maybe
sweet.
I'll be back next week to talk about it.
Can you tell me who Cliff Blazinski is? Because I've heard this name, and I'm pretty sure I always get it mistaken with another name. Cause isn't Cliff the guy who's doing Drawn to Death as well? The PS4 Drawn.
Oh no, that's
thing?
David Jaffe.
See, I'm getting my video game fucking characters of real life mixed up.
David Jaffe's like Sony and did Twisted Metal and is a bit of a weirdo. And Cliff Blazinski is former Epic, basically the lead on Gears of War.
Right,
and then became super rich, and him and his wife have got like matching Lamborghinis.
How did he get rich?
Through Gears of War.
Wow, that's not too bad, is it? That's the way to live your life. So you mentioned that I was North Carolina, by the way, as a place. Did you get to see much of it?
It's actually really weird. Like, the only American cities I've been to have been like the major hub cities, and this isn't like, you could barely class it as a city.
It's out in the sticks, isn't it?
It's like what
city was it?
It's called Raleigh, and it's like basically.
That sounds like a Fallout 4 town or something.
It's like basically a forest. Like, you fly in and all of it is trees, and it's really, really like beautiful to look at. And the weather was alright. Like, it was quite a bit warmer than it is here.
Yes, it's quite a stick. I remember when I was in Florida on a family holiday once. Was it Dakota? No, I'm pretty sure it's Carolina. We had a taxi driver who was fucking nuts. He was like one of these fucking, like, the government did 9/11 type. Oh no, my days. You've never met you know, when you're a taxi in England, it's bad enough when you go, these bloody immigrants coming over here stealing our jobs type thing. But this was like the American equivalent, and he was a nutter. But I think he was from Carolina, and he said how it's always like roasted in summers and that type of stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't like unbearably hot. It was just quite nice. It was warmer than what it is here, and it was nice to sort of have that. And I went for like a walk because we had a bit of spare time, and like our hotel was basically in a forest, but a 15-minute walk, you're basically in the downtown of the city.
Okay.
And there was like, you know, in America they have like burger and takeaway shops where it's not a drive-through. It's like you walk up, and then.
Oh, that's like little holes in the wall type thing. Okay.
I went to one of them, and it was like called Char Grill or something.
Right.
And it's like one of the best burgers I've ever had.
I was actually just going to ask about your food. Describe this burger. Describe it in all its glorious details.
Well, it was kind of like a super basic burger. It was It was just like bread with a really high quality like burger in it, and then you could like select what you had on top of it. So I went for bacon, cheese, double bacon cheese, and lettuce.
Yeah, standard.
But I don't know if they like dipped the bread in something first.
Okay.
But it was kind of like soggy bread that tasted quite beefy. So I think they might have like dipped it in something.
Okay.
And then that was really cool. But the best thing was that they had Mountain Dew.
Oh.
So
Mountain Dew shit.
I just had like a massive, giant-sized Mountain Dew. And then I did that walk on my own, walked back to the hotel, which is like 15 minutes, and as I got there, 2 of the other guys that were on the trip were literally walking out. I was just like, oh, fuck it. And then
They went back.
they went to the same burger place because I recommended it. And I was just like, fuck it, get me another Mountain Dew.
Mate, I don't even get how anyone can like Mountain Dew, mate. It's just...
It's
I think
amazing.
it's just so good.
The American stuff is good. The English
Yeah.
stuff is
It's better,
horrific.
yeah.
It's different, Like I think it's branded as energy over here, like Mountain Dew
Yeah, it's
Energy or
because
something.
In the US, they have a preservative that's banned over here,
Oh.
that's in Mountain Dew. And so to replace it in the UK, they just went, fuck it, I know, let's put tons of sugar in.
See, that's strange though, because in usually American Coke and like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and type of stuff is shite because they have this preservative and they don't use natural sugar, and that's why our chocolate as well is like dairy milk and that, and they've banned that recently. I think like they've banned importing it because Hershey's have like fucking strings in government and whatnot, and Hershey's is shit. No,
Yeah, I don't know if any of you have tried Iron Brew.
Yes,
It's like it's not allowed in America either. See, because like
Iron Brew used to be fucking brewed literally 20 like half a mile from my house.
It's actually so good, but it's banned in America because the orange like colouring of it, it's like obviously it's a preservative. It's not fucking natural in any way, but it's banned as well, so you're not allowed over there.
It's really weird.
You have to import it, but I actually don't think you even can anymore because it is like not allowed.
So weird. I don't know why we're talking about food fucking regulations in comparing America to England, but I find it interesting because like you said, it's weird how Mountain Dew's better over there than it is here, but our Coke and like chocolate and all that type of stuff is fucking trumps America. Hey.
Although, do you know what the
It's
best
all
thing is that I had over there?
What?
Right, we went to this like restaurant that I think Cliff is like half owner of or some shit.
Okay.
And we all ordered like what we wanted as a main. But like on our table we had like one of the women that works there in like HR or something like that. And she was really nice, and she was like, after we'd put our like main orders in, she was like, all right, I've ordered some like appetizers for us to share. And one of them was like this beer cheese stuff, which is like a cheese.
What the fuck is beer cheese?
Oh,
I
I
saw
think
you notice
I
this.
think I saw you say
It's
something about this.
It's like a cheese sauce that's
Oh,
beery.
It sounds
That sounds
revolting.
really good.
But
How does that sound good anyway?
oh no, that part was amazing. But the
So
best
the
bit,
beer cheese was good.
yeah, the best bit
Wow.
was deep fried pretzel.
Nah, I saw you talk about this as well.
Yeah,
No.
that sounds disgusting. I hate pretzels.
I don't get how does a pretzel get deep fried? Like that doesn't really make much sense. Like how did
It's
it
like
fucking
a
die?
full size big ass pretzel, and they've just like battered it and then stuck it like basically like you fry fish at a chip shop.
Oh god.
Fucking revolting.
And it was like it tasted quite good if you dipped it in the beer cheese, but
Oh, that does sound really good.
Beer cheese reminds me of that butternut, like that butter beer thing in Harry Potter.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
it's always fucking the thought of mixing that type like dairy stuff with that type of stuff with beer, just fucking
but like this pretzel, it was a really good taste, but like 3 bites and you were done. And so she ordered 2
Your
pretzels.
cholesterol levels fucking emergency levels. Fucking hell.
She ordered 2 pretzels between 5 of us, and we couldn't even finish one.
Jesus.
Like that's how filling it was. And then no one finished their main on our table.
What'd you offer you, man?
Another burger.
Standard. It's so easy though, but I don't blame you because I'm always at a restaurant. I'm like, what do I have? And the other day I was at a restaurant in Bolton, not as fancy as North Carolina, and I didn't get a burger. And I was so disappointed because what I did get was a bit fucking shite.
I know.
Like, you can just never go wrong with burgers. Really.
It's a safe option, and
Yeah.
I always opt for it usually. It's either that or macaroni, because macaroni is always it's safer than burgers. but it sounds so unhealthy, the deep fried pretzels, but they sound amazing. You get like
Have you ever had deep fried Mars bar, Greg?
I have the chip shop down the road for me used to do them.
See, I was in Edinburgh once and I did see a chip shop with it, and I was like so close, but I was like, no. What is a deep fried Mars bar like?
It's just like a Mars bar, just it's kind of like melted a bit, but it feels like you're eating a heart attack. Like literally, it's disgusting because you feel so gross after it. Like you feel like you have to go and shower after eating it because it's just you feel weighted down by it. It's I don't know. It's a once in a lifetime experience. Like actually, I think I've had I've had 4 in my life, so it's not really a once in a lifetime
Once in a
experience.
lifetime.
But it's an experience. I would definitely say try one or like half one with someone, so you don't have to eat it all because it's sickening as fuck. Oh, I actually feel sick thinking about it.
Have you got any more food things to talk about us before we move on to other stuff that isn't food in the first 10 minutes of this video game podcast, Mike?
I think that's all that I'm going to say. There is one
we'll
story, but I don't think I should tell that on the podcast.
Well, Mike will definitely, absolutely tell it in the Patreon bit. So if you want to hear the story, this teaser story, Patreon bit, mothers, $2. That's all it is. Greg, there's been a new game out recently. Potentially the biggest game of the year so far, maybe, at least in niche circles, I'd say. Maybe.
I would say so far. I think there'll probably be a bigger game out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I do mean so far. Yeah.
Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3's out.
Of course.
You've been playing it as half the fucking team, and that's all everyone talks about. And I'm just like, can we have talk about like other stuff? What's it like? Come on, hit us with it.
See, to be honest, when I first started playing it, I was really, I didn't not like it, but I was kind of uncertain about it. I'd played the preview build and stuff like that. I had been to an event for it, and like I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't like kind of striking the right chords.
I've heard
with
it's
me.
easy at the beginning.
Yeah,
which
it really is.
Lies. Like everyone said, Bloodborne was accessible. No, it's not.
I thought Bloodborne was, but I don't know. I think because I had. I really stuck with Bloodborne. Like I'd never played it before, like a game like that before. I just stuck with it. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it, and I did it. But anyway, Dark Souls, it's really easy to begin with. Like the bosses at the start are, I mean, just like a walk in the park. But the more you go on, it just probably it happens in all games, but it does get harder as you go on, and eventually some of the bosses just like take the absolute piss. I've not really hit any of them yet, but I have spoke to people who say that it's like 2 health bars and stuff like that, and it just like borders on almost impossible. This other person being Adam, who would, if he was here, he would be talking about it like crazy. But we've been co-oping quite a lot. I'm almost finished the game now. I think I'm like 3 bosses away. We co-op last night for like 3 hours and like blitzed like the middle part of the game. So now we're at the same point. So I'm almost done, but it's really good. Like if you're into those kind of games, I would definitely recommend it because I mean, there's hardly a game they make it's only games they really do make. They're always like masterpieces. The music I think it's probably the best music I've heard in a game ever. I downloaded the soundtrack the other day, and like when I'm writing or something like that, I'll listen to it, and it's like I can just feel the words coming out.
It's like when you get to the conclusion of your writing, you get some epic battle music going, and you're like fucking on it. And
it's really good. I can't decide. I think I like it better than I liked Scholar.
Okay.
It's not as good as Bloodborne.
What's it like? I was gonna say, what's it like going from Bloodborne's ultra gothic, quite horror, old styley, weird, small, like gothic horror rather than fantasy. What's it like going back from that type of atmosphere to the fantastical, weird temples and shit in Dark Souls?
I think Dark Souls 3's been really influenced by Bloodborne. Obviously,
like combat wise or area wise or enemy wise.
I would actually say a lot of it. I wouldn't specifically say just like one thing. I feel like the full game, like the full atmosphere of the game, and things like that, they've all been really influenced by it. The setting as well. Like when I first saw Dark Souls 3, like the kind of game footage and first played it, I was like, this feels like Bloodborne. And there's one area specifically that I won't mention the name of it because people just don't like spoilers.
Yes.
It just looks like Bloodborne. It's like walking through Bloodborne because the houses all look the same. It's kind of like it looks like Yarnum, like the design of it is really Victorian Gothic. And when I first got there, I was like, Adam was playing it for review, and he was telling me everything he was doing. 'Cause I know some people would hate that, but I loved it. He said, like, Greg, I think I've just like encountered Bloodborne 2 because there's a big massive bridge you walk across, and then the other side just looks like Bloodborne. The mechanics, like the fighting and stuff like that, I feel like it's similar to Souls, but it feels a bit more Bloodborne like. But I don't really want to compare it always to Bloodborne because it is a Souls game. But I don't know. It takes the points of Bloodborne that made Bloodborne good and adds some of them into Dark Souls, and it just makes it even better game altogether.
Has anything changed mechanic wise from Dark Souls 2 to 3? Like, is there any noticeable differences on, I don't know, fucking flasks and shit?
There's no hollowing. There's no hollowing anymore. So
what was hollowing for the uninitiated?
In Dark Souls 1 and 2, when you died, you would lose like a fraction of your health, and every time you died, it would go down, and you'd have to use an item, which were kind of perishable to get all your health back, and that's how you use those to summon people and stuff like that. So that's a way, but it's been replaced with another system. You use embers and stuff like that to power up and summon people. I'm trying to think what else. There was something else I was going to say there, but I've just been talking too long. It's slipped my mind. Yeah, I think HoloLens's the main thing because that's what the Souls game are really known for.
Right.
There's also the new password system for co-op is like flawless. If you're going to buy Dark Souls 3, I would definitely recommend co-oping with people. Me and Adam have been doing it quite a lot, and it's like so quick. It's seamless. It's even better than Bloodborne because in Bloodborne it was hit and miss. Sometimes you would struggle to get it. Sometimes it would happen straight away. But in Dark Souls, it's happened straight away all the time. And co-oping is a lot of fun. It makes I think Souls games should be made for co-op, but there's obviously still the possibility to just go solo. But so honestly, I wish they did a demo of it so people could try it and play it because I think people would love it. But it's worth the money for sure.
Stubbsy, any interest at all?
No, Dark Souls and Bloodborne is not my type of thing. I tried Dark Souls 1 when that came out. And I like beat the first boss, and then like the first boss I recall was being like relatively easy, and I thought, right, people are telling me that this is a really difficult game, that's talking bollocks, and then like you go out and you go up some stairs, and there's two skeletons, and after you've just beaten a massive boss, you're kind of thinking, right, these skeletons should be easy, and it took me like 10 attempts and I still can kill them, so I just went, fuck this, I'm not doing it.
So your love affair with Dark Souls ended swiftly and brutally then?
Yeah, just like I can see why people like it, but it's not for me.
See, I find it a fascinating series when you see people who are proper into it talk about all the lore and stuff. I find it fascinating, but I find it just fascinating to look at from afar rather than actually play because I just get fucking battered. I've tried playing Dark Souls. I'm not Dark Souls, sorry, it's Bloodborne, as anyone who watches GodisaGeek streams will know, and it just fucking battered me. I got to Cleric Beast, I think I got half its health down, and then it wasn't happening, so that went into the fucking bin or trade-in bin, whichever one it went to.
It just takes perseverance. Did you actually buy it and then trade it back?
Yeah.
Oh, it just takes
Standard.
perseverance. Oh, you should really play it, Dan.
I'm gonna get, because I do a renting thing now, I'm gonna get Dark Souls 3 eventually when I finish playing what I'm playing at the minute, which is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's actually really good, you know. Syndicate.
I actually have heard it's amazing. I heard there was some frame rate issues though, because my boyfriend has it, and he says that when he goes when he's in the cart or something like that, when he's in the horse cart, and he's like flooring it, there's the screen tears and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's just him.
No, I've not had anything. Surprisingly, I've not had anything that bad. There's been I've not actually had an issue like that, frame rate or anything like that. But there's a couple of things where the movement's a bit clunky. They changed. I don't know if they changed it from Unity, because I only played Unity for an hour, and that was shite. That was awful.
Whoa. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
It ran awfully for me.
It was a very, very good game.
It ran dreadfully, and from what I played, I got out of the prison, and I went to I got up to like that first area where you have to go into a church, maybe.
Yeah.
Might even be Notre Dame. But I just thought that city was so bland. I know it's Paris during the Revolution, but it just felt... It was Paris without the landmarks. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Spoilers. I think they go into the Eiffel Tower later in the game in the modern world.
Oh yeah, that's utter bollocks.
Yeah,
but,
they had to get the Eiffel Tower in somehow, didn't they? But I just feel like it was a blandless city.
Is that you coming at it now, or is that your thoughts from then? Because I feel
that
like
was
playing Assassin's Creed since, like Syndicate is a better game, and a city is better. But it retroactively makes Unity look bad, whereas at the time.
No, I thought that at the time.
See, I praised Unity because it was the best looking game I'd ever seen at the time, and from kind of a technical point of view, the amount of people that they had on screen.
But I think it ruined it.
Because
for me, I couldn't appreciate how beautiful. I don't think the city was that interesting, but obviously it was a beautiful looking game. But I couldn't appreciate that because the frame rate was off for me. And I think it crashed 3 times on me. I think that's why I gave up, and it crashed before I was going to do a mission. And I was just like, I can't be arsed anymore. And it's just, yeah. What were you going to say?
I was just saying, like, the fact, from a technical point of view, at the time, it was incredible. Like, I'm kind of a person, because I've done computer science and stuff like that, when I see something like that, I can appreciate shit that's impressive. I think more than, other people. So for me, that's where Unity sticks in my mind, that it was a technical masterpiece that kind of pushed the entire industry forward.
See, I get what you're saying. I'm definitely technical. Like, you can't argue. But I thought all the other game, like the assassin, can't remember his name. I forgot.
Arno, was it Arno?
Yeah, that's right. And he was just a budget Ezio. Like, and that's why I defend Assassin's Creed 3 quite a lot. Now, I enjoyed it when I played it. I can't actually remember if it was bad as everyone says or not. But Connor is the only assassin they've ever done who's different than the flamboyant, loving, free life type guy, who isn't like a cheeky chap. I really don't like Jacob in Syndicate. He's one of the main bugbears I have with it. Even though, is it Emily?
Evie.
Evie, that's right. Evie's really, really, really good. But like every character, like Connor is the only assassin they've ever had who was different. He was brooding, he was angry. Why shouldn't he be? All his fucking family got murdered, and he's fighting racism and oppression and fucking a civil war.
But his dad was more interesting than him.
Hashem, it was, and it takes all the brilliant. You say what you want about Assassin's Creed games or whatever, and how they change history and whatnot, but the lore and how they link stuff is really fucking cool. And there's a mission in Syndicate where you've got to go to Edward Hemway's house, because there's a fucking piece of Eden or whatever it fucking is. I lost count on that bit. And actually, I think it is the piece from Assassin's Creed 4 that, you know, the Assassin's Creed bits in that game kind of ruined it. But so you're in his house, and obviously and then you can read the story of how he died and how Hashem was abducted and then was taken to, you know, the fuck off, Siri. And how he was taken to the colonies and made to be a Templar and all that. It's just really cool. And I do agree, Hashem was pretty cool. But Connor, like I said, Connor was the only one who wasn't like a modern term, for lack of a better word, a fuckboy, really, wasn't he? But again, Assassin's Creed Syndicate at the minute, this city, the amount of detail they have put into London, and it's such you can, all the areas are so distinct. Like, you've got it starts in Croydon, which is like quite amusing, but then you've got, I didn't realise Croydon was actually so far out of London. London boggles my mind.
It is a weird place. I actually don't like London, to be quite honest, but it's a very strange place.
I was talking to a man, Colin, a couple of weeks ago, talking about going, if I went to Bolton's last game of the season, which is against Fulham in London, and we worked out that from his house to where Fulham play, it'd be an hour and 20 minutes on the train.
Yep.
And that just doesn't make sense to me. An hour and 20 minutes on the train for me is going to fucking literally get into, well, it takes 40 minutes from me to get home from Sheffield, and then like an hour and 20 minutes on the train for me is to get into Newcastle.
Jesus
from
Christ.
Manchester. It's so hard to compute. It's really, really weird.
That is. It's strange.
The city, I can't say the city of London because that's a place in London, but the amount of distinguishable areas and the design that's gone into Syndicate is just really, really good. Like, have you played it at all, Stubbsy? You seem to like Unity.
Yes, I played a little bit of it. I think it's actually in my PS4 right now.
Get it played. It's really
yeah, it's on my to-do list. Like, I usually play Assassin's Creed games over Christmas.
Yeah.
But I didn't for some reason this year.
I let it slip a bit because they're not doing one this year, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'll play it this Christmas.
So I let it slide a bit because how you find it? Where are you up to?
Oh, not very far. I'm like 2 hours in.
Right.
I just got the train.
Ah, yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'm like, I don't know if you've seen it, and this is kind of bad because I'm plugging in another site. But Oliver on I think it's on Games Radar Plus. Ben Griffin did a screenshot gallery on his super powered PC, where it's like screenshots of London, but he angles the camera so it is literally just the city. So there's no character in it or anything.
Okay.
And some of them look unbelievable.
Oh, it is just the amount of detail. Like, you go up the clock, Big Ben, that's its name, and you just have the metalwork on one little bar. Like, it's just so intricate and just really, really cool. And I think, I'm learning about London that I never knew. And like that big round building that looks like the thing in Berlin, like the Berlin Capitol building, which is like the museum or something. Never knew that existed. I don't really know much of my own capital. It's quite sad, really. Tell you what's also good as well. There's the assassination missions are a little bit, like the new Hitman, when you've got options and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not that in depth. You don't have that many choices, But it's kind of a bit like that. There's a mission I did. It's one of the first ones I realised you could do this. And you go into Lambeth Asylum, which is really cool. Like, you think abandoned asylums are creepy. Like, manned asylums are even weirder. And there's this bit where you could either... To kill the doctor who's doing, like, a fucking lobotomy on poor sods, you can either go to a dishevelled, recently sacked nurse and get the keys so you can go through every door, or you can go down into the cellar where they have dead bodies and that, and throw a dead body away, hide it, and then go on the sheet yourself, get taken into the arbitorium, and stab the doctor.
That sounds really fucking cool.
It's really, really good. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. It's like, they're getting the assassin. That's one of the problems they had. The assassinations were shit. You'd end up, if you messed up the stealth stuff, you'd end up just
hammering them,
running through and just battering them.
Yeah.
Where this, it was a proper assassination. It's like, they're nailing it. I think whatever they do for the next one, which I don't know, was it Egypt that was?
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember reading something
That'd be
about
weird
it.
though, because I think that'd be a massive step back.
No, I think
like,
Egypt would be quite good.
It'd be a cool location, yeah, because obviously climbing the pyramids and that. But I think architecture-wise, it's not as good for parkour, is it? Because it's literally just it'll be the same type of buildings as the first one. Surely they didn't have skyscrapers in ancient Egypt, did they?
No,
Apart from, obviously,
not,
the big
not in
fucking
Cairo.
pyramid.
I was going to say it'd be like shanty towns, but that sounds a bit racist. It's like they'd just be like kind of small kind of houses. They wouldn't be like huge towering buildings.
I'm still waiting for a Japanese one. Me.
Oh,
Just
that'd be
in, like,
cool.
What's the period of Japan? What's it called? I can't remember.
What do you mean?
Old Japan.
There's like, well, yeah, just. Go
Oh, do you mean
with
like
Japan.
Tokugawa, Japan?
I don't know. It's called something Japan, where all the when all the samurais were.
Oh,
that time period.
feudal Japan.
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I did a
It was
Japanese
really
history
cool.
class. I can't believe it took me that long to fucking get that.
So it was also quite good, and I don't know how much you've done. Oh, you had done if you got the train. When you're going through the areas doing the missions to liberate the parts of London, did you do that when you had to like kill the like the bounty hunters? And
Oh yeah, you got
get
to
a bounty
kill
hunt
a
stuff?
certain amount of people, and it
Yeah.
becomes yours, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just some really cool stuff, like the missions, like the stuff when you've got to go into metalwork factories and free children, workers, and then there's stuff when you have to like just stealthily go through gang hideouts and stuff like that. It's just really cool stuff. They're actually, still think the combat is pretty shit when you actually have to get into a battle. Like that's
It's
still pretty
better
shit.
though. It's
I'd say from my memories of Assassin's Creed 4, which is my favourite, it doesn't seem as good. I feel like it's the same two moves over and over again. But the actual assassinations, when you sneak up on people, it's really cool and really satisfying. And yeah, it's a step in the right direction. It's almost a shame that they have taken a break.
No,
because...
it's not, because this
But yeah, they
year's
need a
would have
break.
been from the shit team.
Oh, would it have been from like the Unity people?
Yeah, it would, like, that's how they work it.
That's a yeah. It's like isn't it on 3-year cycles though? So surely wouldn't it have been on the Black Flag team?
I don't know the exact system, but it's one of, I think it's shit team turn, because Unity was one of the good teams.
Oh, was it Ukraine? I feel like is one of. I can't remember. I don't know if Ukraine's a good one or a bad one,
I
but
don't know.
it's good because it gives the series some time to breathe. Doesn't it? I wonder if they'll start a complete, fresh, new lineage. Even though the Miles stuff and the Hemway family are really cool. Would you like a Haytham game then?
Only if he was played by Jason Statham.
Jason Haytham.
Yep, it'd be perfect.
Oh well, that's what I've also been playing Bully, but that's like decade. Well, how old is that now? 2006, so 10 years I think, if not older.
It's old than that, isn't it?
Shall I Google? Because that came out on the PS2
Yeah.
classic things. It's really, I love it. It was like, I don't know. It was like one of the games I played as a kid quite a lot, but never finished because I was shit. Yeah, 2006. I am right. Get on that. Oh yeah, been playing that and something I can't talk about. So we'll move on. Stubbsy, where else have you been? What else have you been playing in this wide world? Where I hear you've been like putting world trotting.
Yeah, I've been on like a 2-week world tour between, like, I got back 2 hours ago, and between the whatever, not this Tuesday gone, but the Tuesday before that, and today, I've been home for 24 hours. So the first thing that I did was I went to play Overwatch on consoles. So the PC beta has been running for ages, and I've been playing
like
that.
a year, if not.
I
I'm pretty sure it's nearly a year now.
Yeah, I haven't been in for a year. I've been in for like 3 months, I think. But I played a lot of the PC, and then they held an event down in London to go play on console for the first time. which was really cool for me because I've done at least 30 hours on PC, and I was in a room full of console games journalists who had never touched it before, so I was really good.
Like what are the difference, before we talk about how you want to tell me and Colin off for being wrong last week, how were the what's the differences between console and PC?
Very few. Obviously the controller is there, and like even visually it's not that different from what I could tell, although obviously I wasn't looking at them side by side.
It's a very cartoony style, isn't it? So
yeah, so it kind of transfers quite well. And like I played PS4 and Xbox One at the event, there was no difference that I could tell between them. It took me a while to get used to the controls, but I think that's because games like that I'm very much used to playing on PC. Like if it's a game with abilities, Dota has trained me, like Q is an ability and stuff like that, and having to learn that like Y is now my ability was weird. Okay. But once I got the hang of it, it worked fine. I did have to whack the sensitivity up to like near max.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite. I've heard that from another PC player who's playing on console is that it's like going from a mouse to a controller is quite, slows the game down a bit.
Yeah, like I play with a 8200 DPI mouse, which basically means that I don't have to physically move my arm. I can just sort of rotate my wrist and cover anywhere on my desktop.
Oh god.
The epitome of laziness, that.
And then like going to analog sticks, I did have to whack it all the way up, but that's manageable, and I think that's just because ultimately I'm not going to play on console. I'm going to play on PC when it launches, and so I think that's an issue that not that many people are going to have because the console players won't.
Yeah, if you're playing on PC, you're not going to get it on console, really.
Yeah,
it literally makes no sense.
But I was going to pull you and Ahern up because last week you mentioned it, and you were like kind of trying to spitball about what you thought it was, and I think it was you that said it's cool because you can't.
I asked if you only can have one character in the same game, but I do realise now that is not correct.
Yes, that's not true. Like at the event, one of the most annoying strategies that one of the teams I was playing against did was they had 3 Winstons, and Winston's the big monkey tank man.
Yeah.
And it ended up not working because you can counter almost everything, which is part of the reason why you can change heroes on the fly, like in the game. You can change heroes
cool. I didn't realise that beforehand. I like that. How you can. It gets people used to what they like in it if you can just change lords in a match.
Yeah, and it works really well because, like, I've noticed whenever new players play Overwatch, they always revert to a character called Bastion, who, like, one of his abilities basically turns him into a stationary minigun. So, like, you plonk yourself down and you can't move, but you have a really powerful and really quick gun. And if you manage to get in the right position, you can, like, decimate an entire team because they have to go through this one slot.
Okay.
And so that happened, like, another team picked up that Bastion, when you're playing against noobs, is really strong. And my team was noobs, apart from me. And so they were all getting decimated by it. And I was trying to be clever and show off and play some, like, Hanzo, and it doesn't really work. So I was like, right, what's going to happen is I'm going to change to a character called Roadhog, who's a big tank and has got a hook. And, like, you throw the hook out, and if it connects with him, you pull the character towards you.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm going to pull him towards me, and then I need you to all shoot him whilst he's next to me, and we'll kill him. So we did that, and then it turns out that there was another Bastion around the corner who killed me as I hooked him. So that didn't work.
So you think everyone's just going for the easiest character to use just because it's easy?
Kind of. It's only easy because people didn't know how to counter it. And so once I started talking to the team, and we got 2 Roadhogs, and then we got a Widowmaker, who's the sniper, like in a position, and was like, right, I'll hook this one, you hook that one, and then we'll have the Widowmaker pot shot, while the rest of the team sort of kill the other one.
See, I wonder if stuff like that will work on console, like people actually doing playing tactically. I get it, if you're playing a game like that, you try and do it. Like, why would you get a Blizzard type shooter if you're not going to try and be cooperative? But it just rarely happens, isn't it? Like Evolve died in its arse, did it? I know this isn't exactly like Evolve, but
I think there's a way you can interact in the game without actually saying anything if you want to. Obviously, it's not as good as sitting next to each other and going, right, you do this, you do this. But there is like a built-in chat system that works reasonably well. And I would like to think that after a few hours of playing, you can kind of be on the same page as most people. It's kind of like happens in Dota. There's kind of a game sense, and
you just know, like, not telepathically, but you can read the game.
You can kind of read what other people are trying to do, and then you can play off that. And I think Overwatch lends itself to that quite well.
See, I am really looking forward to it because it just looks. Because obviously I've seen a fair bit of it because it's been in beta for so long, but it just looks so different. I know there's about 5 games kind of like this, like with Battleborn and stuff coming out this year, but this one just looks even different to that. It's not Mowbray, it's just a shoot with loads of different and interesting characters that have like backstories and stuff. Like, I'm looking at a poster of other characters now, and Bastion, who's a killing machine robot with a machine gun, has a bird on his finger, so it's like he's peaceful, and you can just get that like Wally type stuff, like vibe, just from his appearance. And I want to ask, who's your favourite character out of everyone?
That's difficult, actually. I quite like... I play Overwatch like I play Dota. I kind of fill the role that the team doesn't have.
Okay.
So
like
you kind of want a team composition of like some damage dealers, some support, some tanks, etc., etc.
Yep.
So I kind of class myself as an all-rounder. If I'm playing damage, I like Reaper, who's the...
I was going to ask if Reaper's cool, because I like the look of Reaper. Doesn't he have like 4 guns?
I think it's 2, but they're like mini shotgun type things.
They're like hand cannons,
Yeah,
aren't they?
so they do immense damage up close. And he's
cool,
like one of his abilities makes him invincible to any damage for like a certain amount of time, and you can still move.
Run in and kill folk.
And then another one is a teleport. So what's really cool is teleporting behind someone, and then blasting them in the back of the head. And then his ult, basically, he puts his guns out and spins and shoots, and it does loads of damage. But I also like Reinhardt, I think is his name, who's like the big tank guy with a shield.
Oh, the big transformer type.
Yeah.
Silver with an orange ring in his chest.
And so with certain game modes, he works really, really well. Like Payload, where you've got to push a car from one side of the map to the other, which is a really basic way of describing it. He works well because you can absorb the damage while still pushing the car forward. And then when your shield's down, you go off, you recharge it, and then you come back and push it forward again.
I want to ask, is the cowboy good?
Yes, he is, but I don't like him. Like in pro, at least last time I watched pro games, it was kind of like you have to have I can't remember his name, like McCree or something. You kind of have to have one of those players on your team. But I don't like him as a character. It just doesn't gel with me.
And is the guy with a big samurai sword, the robot, good?
Genji.
He's silver.
Yeah.
He's got a robot sword. He's got like a samurai sword.
He was slightly overpowered when the beta first started, and when I played most of it, so I think he's a bit of a bastard. But yeah, I really like one of the latest game modes that they've added is kind of a King of the Hill, where there's one point on the map, and whoever controls it to get it up to 100% wins. And there's a character called Mei, who's like a supporty type character. No, she's not. She's a defensive character.
Is she the one with the blue dress?
Yeah, she looks like an ice climber. Yeah. And her weapon doesn't do much damage, but if you constantly hit someone with it for a certain amount of time, they freeze. And then she can also place a massive wall that like blocks people out or in.
Oh, okay.
And then her ult is just like an AoE freezing field. And so on this like King of the Hill game mode, she is perfect because she can block people out of it. She can separate people. She can freeze people so that they can be picked off. And her ult, if you drop it like in the middle of the capture point, no one can go in it from the other team for like as long as it's up.
Is Angel the only one that can fly? I think she's the healer. I presume she's called Angel. I don't know if she is.
Mercy, I want to say.
Oh, that might be correct.
She can't really fly.
Glide.
She kind of like glides, and she's like the medic from TF2 a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of one of the more boring characters.
No, because you can only heal people from what I see.
No, you can do damage, but it's not effective to do damage really.
Okay. I'm just really. Are you excited for this at all, Greg? It's just something that's piqued my interest because it just looks so different and charismatic and colourful and whatnot. It's a shooter that isn't. I take it as something that kids could play. If you get me, Stubbsy?
Probably. I mean.
So, are you excited at all for it, Greg?
I don't know. I've seen things of it. I've seen kind of videos and stuff like that and pictures, but like I always get it confused with Battleborn. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing, but Probably is a bad thing, really. But I don't know. I just haven't really been keeping up with it. Like I often write news on it. There's always new things coming out, like new characters and stuff like that. It's the same with Battleborn, but I don't know. I'm just not really into shooters. I don't know. I think there was a beta.
I'm usually not
is there a
either.
beta or was there a beta?
There is an open beta coming to consoles at the very start of next month. I'm not sure of the exact date.
Doesn't it comes out on May 24th though, does it not?
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
think
I'll
it's-
give
Is
it
that
a whack then.
simultaneous? Is that a simultaneous full release on PC
Yes.
with console?
PC console.
Ooh.
I think the only difference that they've said is that consoles are going to be balanced slightly differently to PC.
Yeah, I think I heard something about something about machine gun turrets start slower than they would do,
Yeah, probably.
so you have more time to react
Yeah.
to something.
But
I think that's something
They
I
said
read.
certain balance things are going to be different, but other than that,
Hmm.
it's exactly the same.
So no excitement for it at all, Greg.
I don't know. I'll try the beta out. I say this all the time.
Yeah.
There's a Doom beta coming up soon, I think. But I
think that's out. Is it not out now? I
think
could
so.
download it on my store.
I'm gonna download it because I think it actually is out today, Dan. I think
So
you're right.
Doom has no interest to me because I just think that looks just.
I just like the.
I know it's Doom, but
Yeah.
it just looks like another mucky sci-fi.
I don't know. I'll try the
Great.
Doom beta and I'll also try the Overwatch as well. And then you can quiz me about my opinion then once I've actually played
Nah,
it.
will do. So, what else have you been playing, Greg? What have you been playing? Have you even talked? Oh, you played Dark Souls. That's it. I'm forgetting stuff.
It's like religiously I've been playing that. I have been playing Yokai Watch. I've been
What
reviewing
is
it.
Yokai Watch?
It's sort of, I don't know if you know anything about it. It's a weird little game. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like Pokemon, but it seems more kind of kid orientated. It's made by Level 5, the people who made.
How can you get more kid orientated than Pokemon?
So honestly, I think Pokemon is made for like older kids, like older people. No, I don't mean like older people as in like 20, 25, 30. I mean like, because some of the battles are really hard. Like going through the
Oh no, I remember I got
the
stuck
league
on
and stuff like
Pokemon.
that. Like I don't think kids would be able to do that. But Yokai Watch.
I think on Pokemon Sapphire, there's a mission where you have to beat a guy to get on a boat. And he's like a dick you meet at the beginning of the game. I think he might be the guy who takes the other Pokemon. Right, dickhead. I just couldn't beat him.
Yokai Watch is a bit different. It's sort of the same idea. Basically, the premise is you're this kid. You go into a forest one day, sort of unexplained why, and then there's this kind of crank machine. So you put a coin in it, and then you crank it, and then like a capsule comes out, and you open the capsule, and it is a Yokai Watch. So basically, you open this capsule, you get your watch, put it on, and then this kind of what's called a yokai called Whisper appears, and he starts talking to you, telling you all the bad things that are happening in the world, which are really not that bad. It's like people arguing and stuff like that, so it's kind of, that's why it's kind of made for kids. Like this kid's mum and dad are arguing, so it's a yokai, like a mischievous spirit that's doing it, so you have to go and like fight the spirit. It's pretty strange. Like I'm enjoying it. Sometimes it feels like it's kind of really picking up pace, like something will happen or there's this event and then you're like, oh, this is going to get really good, I'm so excited, and then sometimes the quests that you do are just so like repetitive, and they just feel really like juvenile. But I don't know if it's because I'm just not really the target audience. There's a lot of messages in it, like for kids. It's kind of, when you're going to cross the street and stuff like that, you have to press like the button and wait for the green man, otherwise you get like penalised. So I mean I'm 20, so I know how to cross a road safely. So it didn't really benefit me that much, but it is fun. Like the characters, the yokai that you find, you can find them by like searching under cars and like looking in trees and stuff like that. Their design is like, it's pretty cool. Some of them are pretty wacky, but they're more kind of, they're not like Pokemon, like they're kind of animals. They're more kind of human spirits. So there's like one called Tattletale, and she's like an old woman, and she makes you like say all your secrets and stuff like that. And the design of them are really weird. There are lots. I think there's over, actually I don't know the specific number, but there are loads to collect, and once you collect them you can put them in your watch and like battle with them. I don't know, I'm kind of still undecided on it. My review is due, I don't know, it's like the 20th or something like that, then it comes out on the 28th
29th, I've just read,
29th of,
which is 2 weeks from now.
So we'll see how it goes. The battle system's kind of strange.
As you were talking, it literally came up in my Twitter feed, a promoted tweet about it. So it's a sign.
I think it'll be really good for kids, because I was talking to Rich about it, and I was telling him that he was saying, would his kid like it, and I was like, yeah, probably, because it's a lot of fun. Like the humour's there and stuff like that. The kind of the childish humour and stuff like that. I do enjoy it. The battle system's kind of strange. Like basically how it works is that you've got six kind of choices, but they're all on your watch. So it's like a 3 versus 3 battle all the time, or sometimes it's 3 versus 1. It depends whether it's a boss battle or not. And then you can switch out by rotating your watch. And it will change. It's kind of like a roulette, and you can change them, and you can do these power up moves and stuff like that. I would definitely recommend watching like a YouTube video on it to show you it in action, because it's really hard to describe. It's kind of hard to get to grips with as well, but once you get to grips with it and you can do all your power ups and stuff like that, it does get a bit easier. But it still feels a little kind of like I haven't lost yet, and I don't know if it's because it's kind of easy, but
fuck it.
It's pretty easy so far. But I would definitely watch a video and see what it looks like, because it's really hard to explain. But once you see it, it kind of makes more sense. But we'll see how it goes. My review will be up in like a week or something. I think it's a week.
Do you prefer it to Pokemon?
No way. Pokemon is like just amazing. I love Pokemon, but Yokai, it is good, but I'm not like, it's not snatched me bald or anything like that. So we'll see.
Fair enough. It sounds different. Well, not different. It sounds like Pokemon, but it sounds, I don't know. It sounds interesting, shall we say? But you know, it's on 3DS, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 3DS.
3DS games never go cheaper, so I'll never play it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're always so expensive. I don't know why, but
always.
Yeah, they are.
Never go cheaper. It's so
It's
annoying.
depressing.
Stubbsy, apart from North Carolina and London to play Overwatch, you've also been to fucking other places. Yeah, this world tour is not over. Where else have you been? What have you been doing?
Well, I went to an esports conference, but that was boring as shit.
What happened? Come on, we can amuse you with your esports bollocks.
They announced the E-Games, right? Which is it's trying to beat the Olympics.
Is like, you took the words out of my mouth. Is it the esports Olympics?
Yeah, it's trying to be, and they're having a mini event at the Rio Olympics. Right?
Oh, fuck's sake!
Now,
alright, fair enough.
It sounds like a decent idea, right?
It does, but not in Brazil, I don't think.
The problem is that they're having no prize money.
Aye, why would anybody go then?
Exactly.
Wait, is this the E-Games? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about this.
And the event in Rio is during the Olympics. Around the same time is the Dota 2 International, which will have a prize pool of $20 million quite easily. Also around that time is ESL 1 Cologne, which is $1 million Counter-Strike Go major. And also during that time will be the League of Legends Summer Split. So Riot is not going to let any League of Legends players go to that. No Dota players are going to go to that because they're practicing for a $20 million tournament. And CSGO players aren't going to go to that because they've got a $1 million tournament. So
it's a good start then.
Yeah, so it's really well.
Is the pitch for it as in every game that's an esport played in one thing and then
I don't know, they haven't spoken about games at all.
Would it be countries? If they're doing it that, would it be countries?
Yeah, you play for your country.
So that's quite cool. Did anything like that happen already?
Yeah, there's kind of been
Who's the best country?
One or two.
Korea?
Well, yeah, Korea does well in
Sweden?
most shit, but like it's never been official kind of like this.
Okay.
But what was really weird at the event is, like, prior to the event, I got sent a press release under embargo telling me what was going to happen, so I didn't really need to be at the event anyway. And then
Where was it?
They got on stage, and they just sort of showed a logo, and then started talking about how it's going to be the best thing ever. They didn't actually say
any planning. Or anything.
They didn't say we are announcing a tournament that's called the E-Games, and this is what's going to happen. And it was just like, I don't know what's going on.
It's a shame because it sounds like a really cool idea, but it just seems like they've gone about it, just from what you've said. So they're going about it the wrong way when it's a really good concept. In theory,
it's an interesting idea, but having no prize money is going to fuck it over.
Obviously, yeah. And I think that's something that I think would get me interested in esports a bit, just because I don't know, there's something a bit more. Like, I got interested in cricket briefly when England were in the World Cup final. Fucking hate cricket, but I watch it because England, in the final, it's quite cool. Rugby, when England were playing in the rugby in the World Cup, I'll suffer through it because it's England. I feel like that's a good way to get people who aren't really into it, just for like national pride and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's a shame that
it could do that. I just don't see this working in its current format whatsoever because at the end of the day, esports is built on the best players. Those are the ones that get the views. And the sad truth of it is, like, amateur stuff doesn't really count. And if we're looking at the dates, unless they're pulling in some like smaller games, it's gonna be amateur, or not quite amateur, but semi-pro.
It's not it's not the big guns, and that's what you need if you're doing Olympics, isn't it?
Yeah, although
You don't do Olympics with bloody. Well, I was going to say I did the Eagle, but he did go. So what do I know?
just the final thing that I want to say on this event is Ed Vasey, who is like the secretary for video games and culture and media and some bollocks in the government.
Which government? This government?
Yeah, this government.
This government has a fucking secretary of video.
Well, he's not secretary of video games, but he's like his role encompasses video games. And he did like a mini speech type thing, saying loads of bullshit about how he thinks esports is great when he clearly doesn't have a clue what they are. And he went on for this like entire speech, and then he just randomly dropped in it would really help us if you could vote yes to stay in the EU.
Oh God,
No.
that is just atrocious.
Like, I don't think we need to go into the political.
There was an
of our own
audible
opinions,
groan in the.
Yeah, you could just see it. Like, me and Greg just went, "Oh."
Some people groaned, and a couple of people like laughed out loud, basically in his face.
Honestly, I would like
Fucking hell.
scream like laughing. That's just,
It's
fuck's
just like,
sake,
why
man.
I can understand why. I think about it if it's the Olympics and everything, but it's just.
Oh no, he didn't tie it into that at all.
Oh, nothing. He didn't give it a reason
for why it
just
would be
said
good for
it. Oh,
esports. He
fucking
just said
hell.
you should do it.
So they just what? No, I'm not going to make it political, but it just seems like they're getting getting everyone out everywhere. No, it'd really help us.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's not discuss politics here, because
Can get
Probably
very
just not
heated.
a place for
Not
it.
that it has. Has it ever got heated when we discuss politics?
I don't know if we ever have discussed
I
politics.
think we're all
I think
sensible.
we may.
Yeah, I think we
I
are.
think-
I think if me and Richard,
talked.
I think if me and Richard discussed Scottish independence, actually, I think
Maybe.
he was a yes voter and I was as well. So maybe it would just be like a party or something. But I don't know.
And I think I talked about America. If we had an American guest on once, I asked him questions just about America because that place boggles my mind. I don't think we've ever done anything truly political. But anyway,
We should do like a politics.
it helped this
one day.
podcast. It'd really help this podcast if you voted yes to leave the EU. I mean, no to leave the EU, whatever it is. I don't know.
Stay in the EU.
Yeah,
It'd
stay in
help
the
us a
EU.
lot. It'd really benefit this podcast, And I probably should retract that statement because Adam may not be happy. Never said anything. You went to Poland as well, Stubbsy.
I did. I went to Poland because Poland's in the EU and I'm allowed to go to Poland, although almost wasn't.
Why would you almost not?
Well,
Oh, do you want to save that for Patreon?
we can save that for Patreon actually.
Ooh,
Um,
there's a tease for you listeners.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
exciting.
tease.
But I went to Poland to go watch some World of Tanks. The best World of Tanks players in the world went for their big grand finals with like a
What
$300,000 prize pool.
What does really good Game of Tanks playing look like?
It's actually like it's been really weird. I've kind of watched it evolve over the last 3 years. The
No, I haven't.
the first grand finals they did was boring as shit because their rules were wrong. Like games could last for 3 hours because
Jesus Christ.
every round would be a draw because like you could just camp and nothing would happen.
So it was like
So it
World
sounds
War One.
like it sounds like the first one they did it as normal cricket, and then the second one they're doing it T20 where it's really quicker.
Yes,
Alright.
and then last year's was
So many cricket references. I
better
fucking hate cricket.
because they changed it. But what
Okay.
happened was the Asian teams came up with a strategy which has kind of been lovingly referred to as the YOLO rush, where basically all of their players just sprinted at like the other teams. And because the
Yeah.
Russians had never played against the Asians, they were like, what the fuck are they doing?
It's kamikaze. That's what it was like in World War Two when they started
Yep.
falling out the sky.
And then, like, a Russian team won last year, but only just. Like, the Chinese teams were close. And so this year it's kind of balanced out. And we kind of got the dream grand final, which was the winners of the first year, Na'Vi, versus the winners of the second year, Hellraisers. And the final was a best of 13, and it went to the 13th round. And in World of Tanks, momentum is a big thing in each round. If you get off to a good start and you can like pick off one of their tanks, you should, barring any miracle, you would be confident of winning that round. Because it's all based on health points. Like, if your team has a big health point lead, chances are you're going to win. So the final round is, like, I think Hellraisers get off to a good start, and then Na'Vi, like, somehow managed to pull it back, and then it sort of calms down for a little bit, and everyone's like, right, something's going to kick off. and then a massive fight happens, and it leaves two Hellraisers players, one with like almost full health and one with a little bit of health, and one Na'vi player who had like almost no health. So at this point you're thinking, if Hellraisers lose this, they have like intentionally thrown the game. Like, you should not lose from this position. But on the map that they were playing on, it's like a big cliff area.
Oh no.
And what happened was the Hellraiser tank that had like almost full health was on top of this cliff, and the Na'vi player was like, right, if I'm going to win, I'm going to have to take him out. So he kind of tried to rush up the cliff, like kind of almost suiciding, but there was a chance he could kill him. And the Hellraisers player moved backwards.
Oh god.
Fell down the hill and got stuck on a rock and couldn't physically move. Like, the physics engine made sure that he could not move from that position, and the angle was so much that he couldn't shoot the Na'vi player, who was literally one shot away from death. So then the Na'vi player picked off the other, like, Hellraiser's player that was running around.
And just came back.
And because Na'vi was on the defensive side, they just had to run down the clock. So, like, the last 3 minutes of the grand final was just a tank going forwards and backwards just while he was running out the clock.
Oh, did he not just go up to him really slowly and just fucking destroy him from like a yard away?
No, because that would have been too much of a risk. Like, just in case. Like, he didn't know for sure that he was stuck.
In case he moved him out of the rock.
And so, like, it was really, really weird. But it was probably one of the best ends to like esports event I've ever seen.
That sounds really cool. It's like a proper underdog story, that, doesn't
it? Yeah, it was incredible. And then, like, because we was in Poland and like loads of Russians were there, like, the arena just went, like, Na'vi won, and Na'vi is one of the biggest Russian esports organisations. In fact, it's probably the biggest. And sort of the arena just went mental.
Wow.
Like, it was so weird because it was so anticlimactic to anyone that didn't understand what was happening, but all these people were like going crazy.
Loving it. That's brilliant.
But yeah, World of Tanks is
it's the fun
cool.
side of esports. I think if they're ever going to get to mass popularity, I don't know what they're getting there. They've been on ESPN and that in the States and stuff, and I think they're on Sky at point. Sky are even showing, like, I know this is not exactly proper esports, but like FIFA matches between people and teams now. So it's like, I think if they're ever going to get mass appeal, need to make all the games shorter, because they might get long games and stuff might be interesting to people who know it, but you know, people who don't are never going to get it, really. I think shorter games which are quicker and have suspense and action and stories like that, I think it could get there. It's like really big.
That's why Counter-Strike works, because Counter-Strike is first to 16 rounds. So there's 30 rounds, first to 16, or goes to overtime if it's 15-15. But the rounds are probably, I think they're no more than 4 minutes. So, like, every 4 minutes you have a new burst of action. But it equates to about an hour, and it works really well. I think that's the problem that Dota and League have. League, especially in the current patch, is boring as shit for the first 10 minutes. And even then, like, shit doesn't really happen in either game till about 15-20. And if you're sat there not really understanding what's going on, and you're just watching people hit creeps for 15 minutes, not that interesting.
Well, seems like a fitting end to leave. Oh, fucking my intros.
Oh, would you not like my news stories? No.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. We didn't need them in the end.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Stick them up my arse then.
See, I was shitting it because I was like, because we was meant to record this yesterday, but it was only me and Greg about. So I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? There's gonna be nothing to talk about. And then
it's okay. Like some of them are a bit controversial, so we can discuss them in Patreon.
Do you want to discuss what? Right, give the teaser to the readers. What have we going to discuss?
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Ghostbusters games that are coming out. There's 2 of them coming out.
Oh, I saw a press release on that.
Yeah, there's going to be no castings from the movies, so it's gonna be. I don't know if anyone's going to buy into that. Like, not even from the original movie or the new one that's coming out with the all-female cast. So we could just talk about general game, like movie game tie-ins, which are usually tragic. And the other one, I actually got 3.
Ever game.
Sorry, continue.
My favourite ever game's a movie time.
Shut up. I don't believe that for a minute.
It's fucking Barnyard.
Barnyard, the video game, that's correct.
The other one was, I don't know if any of you have played Rust, the kind of survival game.
Is that
now
the
you're going
female
to talk
thing?
about the gender.
Yeah, the race and gender, they are now randomised. Like they're permanently assigned to your account. So like
people are going.
Yeah,
mad
so
about it.
transgender players are calling it
So,
horrifying, unpleasant, and uncomfortable. And there's a big upcry. So we can talk about that if you want.
I saw a guy say on this. I saw a Steam comment saying, "Take my bubbles away. I want a dong," or something like that. It's just like Jesus Christ. Oh, Bobos. Was it Bobos? It might have been Bobos. Oh, people. Is that it? Have you got any more?
I had Animal Crossing turns 15. I don't know if any of you have played Animal Crossing. I haven't.
I have.
Well,
I like
so-
Animal Crossing. It's good.
Okay, we can maybe, if we've got enough time, we can
What
talk about that.
Stubbsy wouldn't even talk about Stardew Valley either.
Oh no.
Oh my god, it's
Oh
fucking
man, we
disgusting.
were right. I didn't realise there was so much
It's
stuff.
going to be like an extra Patreon hour at this fucking rate.
Well, if you want that Patreon, half an hour, definitely half an hour, man needs to do stuff, then you can go over to GodisaGeek.com /fuck. You go to patreon.com /GodisaGeek and donate as little as $2, which is like £1. A bloody single English pound, if that, to get loads of more content, videos, extra podcast minutes, and just, you can support the brilliantness of the GodisaGeek team who do sick work. Oh mate, guys, did you see the thing I did about Siri and the fume it caused
Oh
on the
yes,
AG?
that was hilarious.
Beautiful.
Wait, what happened? What did you say about Siri?
Right. I wrote, if you're unaware.
Oh no,
of
I
this,
did. I think you meant Siri as in like iPhone Siri. Oh no,
Oh, no,
yeah.
no,
Okay,
it's all
yeah,
that
because I fuck it. I
Siri.
edited it and put it up, Christ. Sorry, I'm in a different world.
Basically, listeners, if you're not aware, I wrote an article about Cirilla in The Witcher 3 and how she's gay, but you probably didn't notice, and that's the point. You're not meant to notice because it doesn't matter. But then every fucker on this got submitted to NAG, which is like
N4G.
N4G, close enough.
N4G.
Yeah, close enough.
My apologies. Is basically a Reddit for game articles.
It's a cesspit of hell. It's a nightmare.
Well, basically, yeah. And because the headline was a bit clickbaity, I won't lie, but that's what an enticing headline does. It gets people to click. There is a difference. Everyone clicked it. At least clicked the link to the page of the story, and then just commented on it saying, "I can't believe these dickheads are stuffing fucking gendered fucking things down my throat, blah 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 blah." Which obviously they didn't read the article, which is always fun. So check that out
The
if you
best
can.
part is the fact that the comments from the GodisaGeek account that are replying to people got
Yeah.
downvoted to shit. They're
I
like
know.
one upvote and 25
They-
downvotes.
I upvoted it because I had an account ages ago to like try and submit our stuff, but I didn't know how to do it, so I stopped. But then I logged into the account just to try and there was 20 comments on it when I did, and I wanted to comment on it to get more comments, so more people would comment. So I just put 10 comments. I didn't realise there was a limit to comments, so I just replied to everyone. I just went read the article, mate, and then when next time I looked, the comments had doubled. So I was like, "This is gonna be fun." So yeah. That's just some of the great content you can get at GodisaGeek. The fuming of dickheads we do, and it's beautiful. So, and that was just one article. What can we say? We're kings. Greg, where can people find you on the internet somewhat?
I am on Twitter at Greg Hill. That's just a bit. I have Instagram and all that, but that's you can fuck off. You don't fucking follow Instagram.
Stubbsy, where can people find you?
I'm at Mike Stubbsy. You can follow me on Instagram, but I don't think I've ever posted anything.
Oh, see, I only have it. I don't care about Instagram followers. I just use it for the filters. But I am on 99, so if you could follow me on Instagram and get me 3 digits, that'd be beautiful. I am at Brosky on that, and I'm at Brosky on Snapchat, I'm at Brosky on Vine, I'm at Brosky on everything, including Twitter, so follow me. And of course, follow GodisaGeek on Twitter. Follow Facebook. Do we have a Facebook account?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
facebook.com/GodisaGeek.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube, YouTube, GodisaGeek, with all the Colin and Adams videos and whatnot, and Lee's, of course. And I think that's it, is it not?
Tis.
Yeah.
Tis.
Fucking finally. Greg, say goodbye.
Bye.
Mike, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And Patreon listeners, stay where you are. We're back in a moment. It's goodbye from me. C'est la vie.